When did you last look in the mirror and think, yeah, I like what I see? And I'm not just meaning physically, I'm not just meaning your body. There might be an element of, oh, yeah, I would, or, oh my God, I wouldn't. But I'm talking about the whole picture. Do you like how the guy looks? Do you like how the guy feels? Do you like the man staring back at you? Do you like the man that you've become? I'm Stephen, and I'm a gay man in midlife, and I'm a life and fitness coach. And I've built The Undeniable Gay because I've been that guy that stared back in the mirror and didn't like who he saw. Because if you're anything like the guys that I work with, you're knackered, you're exhausted. And a lot of that can come from carrying physical weight. You might have yo-yo dieted for decades like I did. But I'm also talking about the emotional and mental weight that it means being a gay man in midlife. For decades, we have worn masks, we have performed, all in an effort to stay safe in certain situations, whether that's at school, whether it's at university, whether it's in a career, all with an effort to not feel rejected. For so many gay men, there was this deep-seated fear of rejection because from a very young age, we knew that we were different. And I don't know about you, but I grew up as a child and in my teenage years with this underlying current of, oh my God, my world is going to fall apart at some time. When I finally come out, when people realize who I am, nobody sat you down and taught you how to handle any of this. We all made this up as we went along, finding ways to stay safe. And that meant putting on masks in different scenarios. We taught ourselves how to read any room that we walked into, how to be whoever we needed to be in a situation to stay safe. So what is The Undeniable Gay? Well, it is a coaching program that I've put together based on my experience, but also the experience of working with guys over the years. This is not just another 12-week challenge. This is a one-to-one premium coaching program. Yes, we work on your body. Yes, we have aesthetic goals. Who doesn't want to feel like a hot daddy? Who doesn't want to feel attractive, to feel wanted, to feel desired? That is absolutely human, and it is okay to want that. But it has to be from the right place. You have to want it for yourself and not from a place of desperation. It has to come from a place of inner confidence. And that's what The Undeniable Gay is really about. It is about building that self-trust, that self-belief. Because for so many gay men, we don't really know who we are. We get to our 40s and 50s and we realize we've just been performing for decades. We've been wearing masks, trying to get other people's approval, other people's validation, all in an effort not to feel rejected, to feel accepted in a world that doesn't really understand us. And so when we get to our 40s and 50s, there's an element of, oh my God, fuck all of that. Bollocks to that. I just want to understand who I am. And so many guys that I speak to are just on this self-development journey, but end up just navel-gazing for years, reading self-help book after self-help book or shelf-help book. If they don't actually read them, they buy them and never read them. Listening to podcasts, and loads of us going to therapy, and there's nothing wrong with therapy, but that gets you stuck in the past. But we don't need to live in the past. We need to live in the present and live for the future. And it's all well and good doing that thinking. But when do you actually start doing? When do you actually start taking action to become the man you want to become? That's what The Undeniable Gay is all about. It is about understanding who you are deep down. Once you've stripped back all the layers, stripped back all those masks, understand what you stand for. We get into your core values. We stop you burying your head in the sand. We look at your life right now. Where are things working? Where do things need to be improved? Where are the real challenges? And we target those. Understand what you want in life, what you really want in life. Not the conveyor belt through school, university, and the career that you did to please other people. What do you really want? And then we take action to go after it. And yeah, we start with your body because I really believe that the physical foundation is the key to everything. It is what everything else is built on. Yes, we will build you a hot, fit body, But with that, you get stronger, you get leaner, you have more energy. And with that, everything becomes possible. You see clearer, you act differently. You are able to go after what you want to go after. And with that becomes the self-trust, because you've kept promises to yourself. And that all compounds, and you become this charismatic, magnetic man who really believes in himself. So the undeniable gay is something that I've built around your body, around your identity, your mindset, about having a mission, a drive, something to go after that is really for you. So if you're fed up, feeling exhausted, feeling knackered, coming home from work and just pigging out and slobbing on the sofa, if you're scrolling the apps at night, feeling desperate for, a fire emoji, for a tap, for some form of validation, and you can just see yourself doing this for the next couple of decades, this is for you. This is a wake-up call. You don't need to live like that anymore. I don't want you to be that guy. I want you to be the guy that wakes up every morning feeling proud of who he is, of the man that he's becoming, because he's becoming the man that he really wants to become. As gay men, we can feel ourselves fading into the background. When you get into your 40s and 50s, we shouldn't have to fade away. There's no need for us to become invisible. If anything, the next few decades should be the ones where we are thriving and we can actually be ourselves, rather than being who we thought we had to be to appease other people. I want you to feel strong. I want you to feel fit. I want you to feel desired. I want you to feel hot. I want you to feel like you can walk into a room and not read the room for safety, but just walk into it because you belong there. I want you to be able to walk into a room and own it. I want you to walk into a room and turn heads because people notice you. Not because you're slouching or you're hiding. I want people to notice you because you stand tall. I want people to notice you because you're full of self-trust and confidence. And people will be drawn to you because you have this undeniable sense of self that is so charismatic, that doesn't stink of desperation. You no longer fade into the background. You have a confidence inside that comes from knowing deep down who you are and what you stand for. And you know what? That is the sexiest thing. Yeah, you're going to look hot on the outside, but you're going to have an energy that you carry that is so charismatic, that is so magnetic, and that is attractive. And I'm not saying you need to walk into a room and be a dick. You can absolutely do this with kindness, with compassion, with love, because that's what I think undeniable is. And that's why I've built the Undeniable Gay. So if any of this resonates with you, good. I want you to have a look around, and when you're ready, let's talk.